You, Heather. I love the violin. I love music, period. There's not a lot I don't love, actually. Okay, picture this. You go out to dinner. You're sitting there. The waiter comes up to you and says, "Good evening. You look lovely this evening." You say, "Thank you. How may I serve you? My name is Bot." Okay. Well, could I have a menu? Certainly. Blah, 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 blah. And you choose what you want. And he goes away. And you turn to your companion and say, "What a lovely person." But it's not a person. It's a robot. It's a robot. It's predicted that by the end of this decade, that 40% of our workforce will be robots. Concierges, waiters, deep sea divers, that I can see. It's very interesting. So I've had robots on my mind all week, studying about them, and I saw an interview. Sophia, have you seen Sophia? Sophia is a female robot who was interviewed by a journalist. And the conversation was just like you and I would have, but it was a bit eerie because she had this face, and you could see the back of her head, all the circuits back there lighten up. She could express emotion. So it was Al Jazeera who did the interview. And she said, "Can you show me your angry face? Can you show me your happy face?" The robot could do all of this. So as I've talked to people this week, they go, "Oh, that's really frightening. That's really scary." These robots are programmed to pay attention to the environment and adapt accordingly to whatever they're seeing. So the big fear is, are they going to take over? Are they going to replace us? That's always the fear. Somebody's going to replace me. Get over it. That's going to happen, period. The things we choose to be afraid of. Robots can act like us, and we can act like robots. You peel back the skin of a robot, and that's what you see, all the circuitry. You see structure that holds the fake skin in place so that the robot looks like a human being. 2 arms, 2 legs, and so on and so forth. But if you look beneath our skin, what do you see? Veins, nerve endings, all of the systems that make up our body. So we have our programming, right? We, too, are programmed. We're hardwired for certain things. Like we have to eat, and we have to sleep, which has always puzzled me. What's really going on when we sleep? Really. I love the dreams I have. They are quite interesting. Hardwired for certain things. The difference between robots and people is that we are aware of our awareness. Are you aware that you are aware? Yeah. Robots aren't. Robots can only do what they're programmed to do. Hopefully, you and I can transcend that, right? One of my favorite teachers was Ken Key's Junior Handbook to Higher Consciousness. Great book, great book. I forgot what I was going to say. That's a malfunction of my programming. He said we're all programmed as kids, right? Our parents, our teachers, the environment that we are in programs us. And we're not responsible for that. But once we become adults, we are 100% responsible for our programming. I have programmed myself to be a lifelong learner. Oh, I can just sit and read and scroll and I just love, what else can I look up? What else can I do? What else can I do? And a long time ago, I came to the conclusion, you can seek, but sooner or later, you've got to find. You've got to find. Which means stop your seeking. Another one of my dear teachers is Joel Goldsmith. Joel Goldsmith wrote Living by Grace. It's a book. It's one of my very, very, very favorites. If you want to learn how to surrender, to live by grace, read that book. He says it's important when you're on the spiritual path to read, to study, to discuss. But sooner or later, you have to set that aside. And you have to live what you believe. Living by grace, he likens that to the Sabbath. So, God created the earth in 7 days. Well, 6 days. Seventh day, he put his feet up and then took a break, right? We study, attend classes, do all that we can do to have a deeper understanding of the spiritual presence. But there comes a time when we put our books aside. There comes a time when we just be still and know. Be still and know. Because I don't know about you guys, but I can drive myself crazy. I don't know what to believe anymore. And Patrick, thank you for your prayer. It's like you knew what I was going to talk about. I can drive myself crazy. Chariot of the gods, did aliens put me here? Am I an alien? Are you? All kinds of theories out there about where we came from. I can find myself saying, what is God really? I know we say spirit, but what does that mean? How do I know that I know? Right? If I didn't sit down and take a breath and just be in the silence, I'd go crazy. And that's the truth. So all this is to say, how do you know you're not a robot? You transcend your programming. And how do you transcend your programming? By shutting it off. Just shutting it off. And spending time observing what you are observing. Last Sunday, I talked about I am the noticer of what I'm noticing. And the fact that, the scripture talks about how Adam was created. He's just a lump of clay until the breath of life was breathed into the body. We can make bodies. We know how to make bodies. We can make bodies. We can do it in a test tube. We can do it any way you want to do it. But we cannot make life. Divine life is our gift. And that is the truth whether you're in a body or out of a body. Life is. And life is God. Life is always creating. Always. So when I'm doing my creating, what I want to do is create peace in my mind, peace in my heart. I want to create beauty in my environment. And in order to do that, I have to think beautiful thoughts. I had the thought the other day, people come into my house and more than one person said, gosh, it's like a museum. I'm saying, yes, I know. I know it's like a museum. But I look at everything in my environment, and it's a reflection of somebody else's beauty. Somebody else thought it up. I just bought them. Know what I mean? That's what we are. We are life in expression. And that will never be replaced by any technology. It can be kind of spooky because what they're doing now is fusing DNA with technology. And there's some good applications for that, especially around healing. There's more mysteries in this world than we can ever hold. And that's because God's a mystery. And that's all that's really true is the divine presence. And it's a mystery. So it's fun. It's fun living in the mystery, envisioning tomorrow, but be here now. Be your real self here now. Transcend your programming at least a few minutes each day. Remind yourself of the mystery that you are. This morning in my meditation, I'm sitting there thinking, the older I get, the more mysterious the world is. You think when you get old, you're supposed to know more, right? This fount of wisdom. More and more, I realize the only thing I know is the peace I feel when I let go and just be. Be your same sweet self, and you'll go far in life. Right? Everybody puts that in the annuals. Joel Goldsmith talks about being in the flow, taking no thought about what you'll eat, or what you'll say, or anything. One of my favorite scriptures is Moses, who had a stutter. I don't know, I can't do it. And he was told, I will give you the words. To be able to live by grace, to live in a Sabbath state of mind, which is resting in the knowledge of your own divinity, your own health, your own prosperity. I say your own, but we know there's only one, and we are it. How we were created, who dropped us down on this planet, I don't know. When I find out, I'll let you know. And if you find out, you let me know. in the meantime, never forget you are divine life in expression. Seems like a simple thing, doesn't it? It is simple. And that's all I have to say about that, said Forrest Gump.